Go ahead and take a slide.
Episode 58 of The Gray Area. How are you doing, Tim?
I'm doing fantastic. Today is a good day. Cannot complain. You know, filled up my tank and it was $50, even though I'm driving a 4-cylinder, you know?
Yep, I was paying about 80 now.
Ooh.
That's right. You know, that's from President Blumph. You know, thank you, President Blumph, for all the good
So now we got to make a bunch of those stickers with the "I did that." You know, we saw that in
I ran up your gas prices is really funny. Like, I ran up your gas prices.
That's good. That's good.
And here's the thing, like he is the new Biden. So like we're gonna make fun of him like that. I personally need to order some of those stickers. I've been telling myself that I would do it. It's so insane. It's so crazy. They just hit more oil infrastructure.
Yes, they do.
And we're going to get into that. We're going to talk Netanyahu, his new press conference statement. He's alive. Everyone's saying, oh, Netanyahu's dead. Netanyahu's dead. Spoiler alert, the world doesn't get that lucky. He is alive and well, and he is angry, and he's talking about boots on the ground. I wonder whose boots those would be. But he made a bunch of crazy statements today. We got Trump making a bunch of crazy statements, comparing what he's done in Iran to Pearl Harbor to the Japanese prime minister's face. It's like, well, you did the Pearl Harbor, so we can hit the elementary school. So,
but now we're seeing they really don't have a plan. I didn't expect Trump to tweet that out.
Duh.
I didn't expect Trump to tweet that one out. And that actually showed me that Israel is operating pretty independently right now. The dog is off the leash.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is like we're going up the escalation ladder. And to Trump's credit, Trump has demonstrated that he wanted to stay at air power. And he wanted to stay like trying to do the targeted strikes and trying to assassinate people, whatever. Israel just said, okay, we're going to hit the oil infrastructure. And you think about it from this level, it makes zero sense. So Iran is this massive country. Their big oil field that Israel hit, they share it with Qatar. Yep. Right. So it's there by
the natural reserves there.
Right. Yep. So by hitting that, you also hurt Qatar.
Yes.
And Qatar is like, stop it. Why are you doing this to us? And then Iran hits their side of the thing. The poor Qataris, man.
Poor Qataris. Well, not even just that.
In between a rock and a hard place.
There are rumors going around that that Iran is trying to hit the Saudis region where they have the crude oil coming from out of the Red Sea, and that is the main source that they've moved everything out of. So if that happens, we're all cooked.
Because they have to replace, I think it's like 8 million barrels a day that was the supply before it got cut off, and now the Saudis are able to replicate. I think it's like 1.7 to 2 million barrels a day if they're going to move it out through the Red Sea.
Yep.
And that little compromise, if that gets disturbed, it truly is over. I mean, it's already over because people don't realize, and maybe we should do a deep dive, talk about this on Sunday. People do not realize how many other things are made with these petrochemicals, all the fertilizer gone.
I'm actually doing that.
Yeah, we got to do that.
That's a good one.
Phenomenal. I was thinking about that today.
That's a very good deep dive.
But, like, people have no idea what's coming. And I watched an excellent segment on my dad's show. My dad is on vacation. He's at the beach with my little sisters and my grandparents. So he's been having other people like host the show and whatnot. It was Mike Adams, and I believe it was, I'm going to get the other guy wrong because I always get him confused. It wasn't Ivan Ranklin, but it was another like balder, shorter, like a special forces guy. So it was these two dudes, and they were talking about like the controlled collapse or like not controlled collapse that's about to happen because of this situation that we're in. And like no one understands the ramifications of this yet.
No, they don't. And at the end of the day, you look at it, it's going to come back to us at the end of the day. I mean,
but no.
Yeah,
shut up, Tim. You know, Tim, you have to shut up because here's the thing: when the oil prices go up, we make more money because we're an exporter of oil. Okay.
Well, the S&P 500 is at all-time highs. That's all you need to pay attention to. Don't pay attention to that gas tank being like $20 or $50 higher.
So when you hear Trump talk to you or you hear Bondi talk to you, you have to shut up. Like I have to shut up if you're talking like Bondi, and then you have to shut up if I talk like Trump because these are our gods, right?
Yes.
They control the economy somehow by like sacrificing chickens or something. They keep it alive, the stock market. Like, do you not? This is a cartoon. People.
It is a cartoon.
There's no reason to go this far. And getting involved in this conflict, you know that they would do this. Like, this was war gamed out. It's like, hey, like, that's the one thing they have. They're going to shut down the strait.
Well, and the best part is, you know, that Pentagon budget getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, 200 billion.
200 billion.
Like,
you got some spare change?
It's not even real, man. It's not even real. Like, we can't feed the kids here. We have homeless people everywhere. The roads are falling apart. 200 billion.
And I also dropped an article about this. We have a new newsletter that has come out for gray area specifically.
Yeah,
Wes, could you get that pulled up real quick?
That's
because
Gray
this is something.
Area Files.
Gray Area Files. This is something new. We're trying to provide value to you guys at the end of the day. I know I do a lot of deep dives here, like on Sundays, but then I was like, there's a lot of things that are happening throughout the week that we're not being able to cover. So I'm like, okay, well, how do we give value to people where they get like a digestible version of the newsletters? I mean, a digestible version of the news that's not biased, that's nonpartisan, and actually gives you guys more context. And this is what we came up with. And you can kind of scroll down here a little bit, Wes. Let's go to one of the articles.
The thing that's interesting to me about this is if people want to see kind of like a preview or a post view of like really good shows we're either going to do or already are in the process of doing, you can go here and see a lot of what we're working on. We're going to get a lot of contributors for this as well.
Yes.
Go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, go to the other articles. That's the one that dropped today. But like, again, like this is an article that wrote today, spent a lot of time on this one. It's kind of just a deep dive, but in a different way. And it's very helpful. There are a lot of people who have started to subscribe, and I'm already getting great feedback from people. They're saying they love the articles. Again, if you love the show and you want to contribute back to us, you want to be able to support, I want you to go to the link in the bio on Gray Area, and there is a link in the bio that will take you directly to the Gray Area Files. For $5 a month, subscribe. Okay, it's called www.grayareafiles. Wes, can you pull up our X account and we'll show people where it's at? And give us a second here. But we're gonna pull this up for you guys. But essentially, for $5 a month, which is like a coffee, you guys get access to the best information. It's a 360 win because everything that goes into this goes back into the show to give you guys more value, to give you guys more content. And that is the biggest thing for me. It's like, there's a lot of slop out there, is there not? And so that's the biggest thing for me is like, how do we distill down the information and give you guys things that you didn't think about, context? So go ahead. You can see on the Gray Area, on the Gray Area X, it's linked in my bio. It's linked in Rex's bio. Click on that link in the bio. You're going to go see, and it's the first thing there. It's Gray Area Files, $5 a month, less than a cup of coffee because Starbucks prices are out of control. But you get to arm yourself with knowledge, and there's going to be all different things that I'm going to be dropping weekly that won't be covered on the show specifically. So these are like little tidbits for you guys to actually have in between our shows because there's just so much happening right now.
If you're interested in watching the larger story as it develops from a technical angle, you're going to want to go ahead and subscribe to the Gray Area Files newsletter. This is really cool. This is one of the really phenomenal things we're working on in the future, and right now it's available. So, like, if you want to support the show,
click on it real quick, Wes. Let's go into it. I want to show you guys a couple of articles that are there already, and there are people who probably are just joining, but when you guys go in here, I'm going to be uploading every week. And then Rex is also saying contributors.
We're going to get contributors. Yeah. We're going to get a lot of people to write for it. It's going to be really cool. We really appreciate the outpouring of support for the show.
Yes.
The show's been doing a lot better. We've been getting a lot of traction. People have been interested. You guys are really showing up by like reposting stuff, commenting on stuff, subscribing to stuff. So we just like really want to say thank you for that. If you really want to take the next step, that's super easy. I mean, it's $5 a month to support the show. If you're coming here, you know, once a week or twice a week or both times every week, just join the army, join the squad, join the tribe, join our team.
Yeah, and I spend time actually filtering out the BS. And that's the biggest thing for me is there's just so much news. They just give you the headline, but they don't give you the real story behind. And the thing that I like to do more than most of these other places is how does it affect you? How does it connect you at home? Because that's what a lot of these articles and these newsletters are missing. They're not intimate in terms of with their audience, and that's the biggest thing for me. So if you guys want to support, like we said, go to thegrayareafiles.com. Let's get back into it here.
Yeah,
so let's go.
Excellent plug. Very good job. Here's the thing. When we plug something to you guys, when we show it to you, it's because it's quality. We know it's the best. And it's like Tim said, I was proud to hear you say it. It's a 360 win. It's a win for you. It's a win for us. That's how we get better. That's how we get stronger. If things don't grow, they stagnate and die. We're trying to do a lot of really cool things here. If you've seen some of the Man on the Street, some of the additional interviews, the things we got set up, new shows, you're really going to want to be here on the ground level as part of the journey, you know? So thank you for doing that. Let's get into the news.
Let's get into it. Let's go to the first one. Are we starting at the top here with the troops? Or
let's start with the troops, because let's play that Iran oil strike thing during the like once we get down past Fox News host claim Iranians want to be bombed. Let's just run through this really quick. This will take 15 minutes.
Okay. Don't go to the YouTube one. Go to this X link underneath, Wes.
When I say my son you die for Bibi Netanyahu in the Middle East, I was so proud.
Send me to the front lines, sir.
Trump sent me a MAGA hat and he told me I was a soldier. Like that, come on, people.
Hey, he looks cool though.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a new amphibious readiness group, ARG, sorry.
Ain't this nice? New, the Boxer Amphibious Readiness Group and its embarked 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit have deployed early from the U.S. West Coast, or expected to sail directly to the Middle East via the Indo-Pacific region. I believe this is another 4,000 troops to accompany the 5,000 that are already being moved into position there. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. The Iranians have a 1 million-man army, but I think that they are really going to try to take that island, even though it's stupid and really doesn't achieve anything. Trump wants some sort of military victory. And then what I predict about all of this is that like there'll be a horrific battle. A lot of Americans will die. They'll take the island, whatever. And then Trump will say, if you want the island back, you have to end the war. And that'll be the deal. You see what I'm saying? Because then he can lie about like, I took a lot of their land. I took their most valuable site. I took it away. I took it away from the stinking Iranians. And then, like, to make a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, to end the war, we'll just give you the island back. And then that's us, like, having to give away nothing.
Yeah. I mean, but we're not giving away nothing. I mean, everyone's going to be paying for this. That's the best part about this.
Absolutely.
We're all going down with the ship. Isn't this all fun?
It's a big, beautiful iceberg. I said, I have to touch it. I have to run the ship right into it. I said, Melania, look at the size of that ice. Can you believe it? How clear it is? Wow, we're really up close to it now. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's fun. We like to have fun.
I saw Jack on the front, and I just said, we have to do it.
I said I'm coming. Okay. All right, let's go to the next article.
Anyways, let's go to the next article. Where are we at? Okay, so Pentagon, are we going to go into Pentagon seeks $200 billion?
In chronological order, it all works together. So the Pentagon is seeking an additional $200 billion in order to fund this war. So keep in mind, they're spending on average like $3 to $5 billion a day. They've spent like over $25 billion already. Like we talk about this often. These numbers are just not real. And like that's the whole point. It's like if the number is not real, why couldn't we have spent half the number at home at least? Like
100%.
It's so crazy.
I bet you like a few billion of that would have got us like the state of the art like Metroplex line.
Well, not even that. Like I'm gonna look up how much it would cost to give a free lunch to every child in America. I guarantee it's not expensive. It's like, well, I've been voting for Trump and Little Junior. We can't afford to feed him no more because of the gas prices. But, if Trump could have used some of that money to feed Little Junior, maybe we wouldn't have this problem. Like, it's so crazy.
It is so crazy.
Well, we'll go ahead and go to it now. The Pentagon is seeking $200 billion. I think it's a Pete Hegseth.
Oh, we love Pete.
Secretary of War.
$200 billion. I think that number could move, obviously. It takes money to kill bad guys. So we're going back to Congress and our folks there to ensure that we're properly funded for what's been done, for what we may have to do in the future, ensure that our ammunition everything's refilled, and not just refilled, but above and beyond. I mean, President Trump, as he said, rebuilt the military in his first term, didn't think he'd use it as dynamically in his second, but he had. So thank goodness he did that. And an investment like this is meant to say, hey, we'll replace anything that was spent. And now that we're reviving our defense industrial base and rebuilding the arsenal of freedom and cutting deals like our great deputy secretaries here is doing, long lead times on exquisite munitions, we're going to be refilled faster than anyone imagined. And I think, we're also still dealing with the environment that Joe Biden created. which was depleting those stockholds and not sending them to our own military, but to Ukraine, which is every time we reach back and look at any sort of a challenge we have, it goes back to, well, send it to Ukraine. Ultimately, we think this should be these munitions are better spent in our own interests.
Okay, so this is not Clash of Clans. This is not Dragon Veil. You do not get to buy the gyms and then speed up the time to build the town hall or whatever. That's not how this works. The missiles don't grow on trees. You can attest to that.
No, they don't.
So let me follow just like the chain of events that Pete Hegseth just took us through. So Trump's first term, he rebuilds the military. Biden, we don't talk about Biden. Trump comes in the second time. Oh, it's so great that Trump can use the military that he built up. But oh, wait, addressing Biden. Biden depleted the military in Ukraine, which is why it's so good that President Trump is now starting the new weapons contracts to get the new missiles. We only make a few hundred to like closer to 1,000 a year.
And it was crazy because we were talking about it back in 2024, 2023. And our munitions levels were going down to the point where we didn't have reserves.
Yes.
And that was, and Lockheed Martin was salivating.
Well, that's what they want.
Oh, yeah.
Like your products always like almost are sold out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got to reorder. No shit.
Yeah, 100%. And here's the worst part about this, guys. I was doing the deep dive today as I've released this article. If you want to go, you should read it on our gray area files. But basically, here's what you need to know. We've failed the audit of the Pentagon every single time that we have done it for the last 8 times.
We don't need to do that. Shut up. It's not important. It's not. There's no gold in Fort Knox, Tim. But we don't talk about that.
So you and I, Rex, we don't have good credit.
Uh-oh.
We walk into a bank and ask for a loan for a particular vehicle, right?
Yes.
They'll be like, sorry, sir, we don't trust you with that money. We can't give it to you because you have bad credit or you did something bad that allowed you to not pass certain metrics.
Yes.
But when the government and big old Pete says, hey, we need, not even just 200 million. We forgot about the 50 that they asked for last week. Okay, so let's say 250. And they failed every single audit in which they lost 800 billion already that they have unaccounted for. So we're giving them an additional 250 to also potentially
so it's another trillion
unaccounted for,
right?
$1
trillion in total. That's right.
Okay, right. And so the worst part about this for me is just the hypocrisy. They can do it. We don't get any credit card cash back on the loans that they're taking against us when we pay our taxes. But, this is the game. It's the have-nots and have-yachts and have tomahawks,
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, it's the have tomahawks versus the ones that don't have tomahawks. And it's just, here's the thing. It's so crazy. We'll just go through another example really quick and we'll go to the next thing after this.
Citizens upset.
Flip Citizens upset. He's out there, Hegseth is out there talking about maximum lethality, talking about no mercy, talking about we're going to obliterate, destroy them. This is the type of language that Trump uses. Okay. Well, we've killed a lot of their leadership. We've hit a lot of their military infrastructure. We've destroyed their Navy. That's all true. We also obliterated elementary school. So, is that a part of the obliteration, no mercy, whatever, or is that just a tragic accident? When I talked to the boomer just phrased it as a tragic accident. I'm just like, that's the number one war crime is a war of aggression. When you embark on a war of choice and do something like this, all the other things are wrapped up into it by default. And everyone on the internet, and I've seen this, whatever your stance is, just listen to me and hear me, especially if you're on the pro-war side. People that are making justifications, well, we'll be out in a couple of weeks. We killed the Ayatollah. Iran's about to fall, blah, 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 blah. You don't get to decide the length of the conflict. So you can say you can say those things those things. What I'm saying is more true by its very nature. I'm saying I don't know when it's going to stop. We don't know. That's the problem. You understand?
No, but the grown-ups are in the room making the decisions and they like to talk with conviction.
Sure.
You don't have to have intelligence to get a specific position inside of our government. I think it's very clear. But
it might be harder for you.
Pete's Secretary of Defense, but he's never been a higher position than some military guy. I mean,
he was at Fox News. You got to.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, let me take it back. Yeah, you're right. He did come from Fox, even after.
You don't know about his background. He's telling the truth for 10 years.
That's even worse. So he goes from some position in the military that wasn't that high up to Fox News, and they were like, "That's the guy. That's the guy that needs to decide what happens with our defense and how much we spend at the Pentagon.
Well, it's a thing that Trump often says. He goes, "This guy is straight from Central Casting. Would you look at this guy? He's straight from Central Casting."
Best guy I've ever seen.
So it's like, okay, you select people to be actors. That's what this is.
It's a yes man thing.
Absolutely.
Because you can control the guy if he doesn't know enough information.
Well, and they're also like the yes men are also actors, right? Like they're this the please Trump. We must please Papa Trump.
Must please.
They probably have to rub his belly with like bacon grease or something. Who knows what goes on? We don't want to know.
Someone said more interview with warmongering boomers, please. That was fantastic. By the way,
here's the thing. It's super hard. That was like finding a shiny Pokemon. Like that's like finding a Gyarados or something, right? Like that. You're not often going to come across one of those. I've been thinking about it, like places they congregate or hang out at. I think it would work really well to go to like a Florida mall. To go to a Florida mall.
There's places even here that you could find, like, right?
Well, I guess you know what, the ones by Lake Travis would be super angry neocon, but they might attack. They might get physical. So I don't know if I want to get like beat up by an old person on camera. Sir, I'm just trying to interview you. You don't support Trump. Like I could totally see that happening. Yeah. But
okay, let's go ahead and play this clip.
Go to the next one. Citizens upset. This is the real cost of the war on the ground for America.
What are we really doing there besides raising our prices? Make America great again. We're tearing America apart right now. And it's sad because it's the working class people that are suffering the most.
Pause it. Can you just like go back to it real quick and just go to like a cut where you can see his face? I just want to, I had a thought. Yeah, go ahead and show that. Okay, so look at this guy. He is the definition of what I would see as like MAGA. And for him to speak out like this guy looks like a working class guy, hard.
Salt of the earth is the expression.
I mean, this is like as much as Trump's base as you could get. And for him to be speaking about these things says a lot about the times that we're in. And I would have never thought that I would see people in droves turn against this movement, but I think we're all coming to that same consensus that this isn't working.
Yeah, no, it's not working out. And when something doesn't work out, you change course and you look for something else. You don't double down on the thing that isn't working. That's literally the definition of insanity, Tim. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And the people on the ground, they're not stupid. They're in a hellish situation having to work in this damned economy with the damned prices and the damned inflation and the damn mortgages and all of that. But they understand what's happening, and they elected you not because they liked you, Trump, not because they believed in your aura or whatever. It's because you actually, and this is why me and you voted for him as well, he promised, and they may not have been perfect, he promised solutions.
He did promise solutions.
So maybe talk about that a little bit.
The only one that I can give him credit for was he shut the border down.
Yeah,
I mean that was
6th thing. That a lot of people.
That was the main thing for me. I was like, hey, shut the border down. He did that. But you know, everything else that came, I was like, how are you any better than Biden at this point? In the chat, can you guys, what's gas like where you're at? I want somebody in California to tell me.
That's a great question.
I want somebody in California to tell me what gas prices, because I'm in Texas as well as Rex here, and it's getting to 370.
What do you put in yours though?
I put regular, dude.
Okay, you put regular. I put the middle one because that's what the manual says.
Regular at 370 is crazy.
It's $4 middle option, and I got the Tacoma or whatever. But
and you got no gas mileage.
It's pretty bad. I mean, Tim, you're very efficient. Okay, you're very efficient. You've got the gas mileage and all of it. I've got a little bit less of that. Okay, all right, but we don't judge.
Yeah, in the chat, I'm genuinely curious what's gas like where you guys are at, and give the state as well. Okay, we got $6.
Oh.
Wow, Damon's got $6 for premium, $5.29 for unlead. $5.99 in Seattle's a crime.
That's insane.
New Orleans is $3.70. Alabama's $3.70. How is Alabama higher than ours for 83? Ain't even 87.
83.
It ain't even 87.
Whoa.
I didn't even know they sold 83.
Yeah, we have good. We have good gas here.
You guys are getting robbed out in Alabama. I'm not gonna lie.
The highest you've seen is $5.95
by Pasadena. Oh, she's like in South.
Dude, we used to tar and feather people, man. like this is crazy.
We used to burn shipyards for 2% taxes.
You think about this, and like when I was out on the street interviewing people, I must have asked like 100 people, like, your thoughts on the Iran on war. Positive, negative, no judgment, doesn't matter. The vast majority of people are just like uninterested, and they got like their work and they got their family life, and they're like, who is this asshole on the street putting a microphone in my face? But when people begin to care about their wallet being impacted, you bet they're going to have something to say. So I'll be tracking this. Hopefully we'll do some stuff together in the future as the weeks and months go by. People are really not going to be happy about this, and I'm going to report that news to you.
Oh, the one that you guys should be paying attention to is diesel prices, because that comes down to trucks. Yeah, that comes down to trucks. It comes down to a lot of the things that actually hit, you know, the transportation industry, and that doesn't go, and they don't absorb that cost. That goes directly to the consumer. That's the whole trickle down. So, you know, inflation may have, quote unquote, come down to 2%. I don't know what number they're going to fabricate over the next, you know, few months, but prices don't come down. They only keep going up.
Well, you know, it's like Trump's 112% approval rating. You know, you don't question these things. It's just real.
You don't question.
You know, like he's 102% the peace president, right? Like in some poll, because they ask someone, they go, do you think Trump is 102% the peace president? And if they say yes, they add him to the poll. And if they say no, they don't include him. Because 100% of MAGA Republicans support Trump. Are you a MAGA Republican?
I know. I saw those numbers. And somebody else was saying, like, you know, Republicans, 87% of Republicans still support Trump. I'm like, where are you getting these numbers?
It's not real. It's just like when they said Hillary was going to win. It's just like when they said Kamala had a chance of winning. Like, these are clearly manipulated
poll
polls.
Of 3,000 people.
That's the thing. Is like none of these people care about election security.
Okay, let's go to the next.
They all want to rig all the elections. Like everyone that's like gets involved, like, whether it's like Biden or Trump or whatever. It's like, well, how do we do it this time? How do we get that little margin of error that we can do better on? They all do it. Like
they all do it.
And we're sitting here like, it's my Trump. My Trump would never do it.
It's my president.
But let's. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what is this? Reporters hit by missiles?
This is crazy. So this guy, I think he's like a Greek guy or like a British guy by nationality / ethnicity, but he works for RT. And he's in southern Lebanon right now, and they get hit by a strike.
That's insane.
We're going to watch this crazy video.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and admitted.
Can you replay that? I'm sorry, I gotta get a second look at that. That was insane.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and admitted.
Still alive. He's still alive.
Wow.
He got treated. He got treatment at a hospital. He's alive, but they've.
Did he get hit by some shrapnel? I bet.
Yeah, but the Russians have come out and they've condemned this, and they're very upset about it.
So is this an Israel? It had to be Israeli strikes. They don't even have fighter jets in Lebanon.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it's like, well, like who decided to strike this dude? Like, what was it?
Look at that slow mo. Look at that slow mo.
He's fast. He's like, shit, it's coming in. Boom.
Damn. Dude, do you know
right
how
on top
much,
of the rebar? That's nightmare. Do
you know how this like changes your whole perspective on life? Just knowing that you were like quite literally feet from being blown away from an Israeli missile.
I would move so far away from everything that made loud noise. Like for the rest of my life, I'd live out in the woods or something.
Oh, he's gonna have PTSD, man.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna have PTSD. He was the target.
He was the target. Shit. Mission unsuccessful. I mean, how much money did they waste doing that too? It's just another example. Like, what is that?
It didn't hit anyone. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go to the next one. We got
more winning, I guess.
More winning. Fox News host claims Iranians wannabe bombs.
This is crazy. You got a bunch of crazy Zionists sitting around the table talking about how the Iranian people are grateful for the bombs. We're going to go ahead and play this now. This is what your grandparents or parents are watching. So be prepared. This is protect your brain. Put a lead shield.
Okay, well, I mean, it tells me everything just looking at the guy in the middle.
Well, hey, no. You got to understand the girl on the right. She's also got a necklace and whatever. But you have to trust, the Washington D.C. establishment Zionists about what the Iranian people want. Like the Iranian people, they want a giant poison cloud of oil rain to drift over 2 subcontinents.
Yeah,
they're happy about it. And this is the thing. It's like, I'm sure plenty of them actually did want to rebel. The treatment of them is not making them want to do that.
I know, and that's what I was literally saying this to somebody the other day. I'm like, well, if for the ounce of actual courage that these people actually wanted to have their regime changed, cutting off their oil supply and making them go into like this black mode of depressed. Their inflation's already out of control. Like, that's not helping the incentives.
The whole country looks like when Frodo puts on the ring in Lord of the Rings. It's like vapor, smoke, like death everywhere.
Well, we're saving you with these bombs.
That's right. The peace president and the mostly peaceful fires. We must thank the peace president for his mostly peaceful fire.
Go ahead and play this clip.
You have the people who are talking to Iranians in Iran saying, you know, they're most afraid of the bombs stopping because if the bombs stop, they believe the United States might be done.
Absolutely. And when they have the moment to tweet, they're tweeting and saying, please don't stop. Because the worst thing that could happen to us is if you leave this regime in place, which means who is going to pay the price? We, the Iranian people, are. They're going to torture us more. They're going to kill us. They're going to throw us in prison. You've got to finish the job. They are celebrating every time a bomb goes on. Just imagine, Trace, for a moment, that you'd be celebrating when you hear a bomb go off, because that is a freedom mission. It's a freedom mission for them. This is not a war. They are finally going to be free from their oppressors that have held them hostage for the past 47 years.
Yep.
All right, let's just do a little thought experiment. Let's say you lived in a city and everyone in the city and government was Mormon, and they enforced that there was no coffee, that there was no energy drink, no pornography, whatever. You lived in a Mormon society and you were able to walk around and do whatever, but, you know, everything's Mormon. And then one day the Mormon city is completely on fire and they're assassinating all the leadership. And they're like, rise up and take over your city. And you're like, well, you know, I may have even hated the Mormons or not liked the Mormons, but everything that they built, the place that I lived in, is on fire. So, like, who am I going to support? The invader from, like, 30,000 feet up who's in a B-2 bomber in a plane, some guy in a black mask?
Yep.
Or the person, you know, who was martyred for the country? What changes your mind? Like you're not going to support the people bombing you. Hitler did this. He did this to the British people.
He did this to the British people. It didn't work. You're right.
It didn't work at all.
But I will say that there probably is a good percentage of the population that is stuck between a rock and a hard place now, because
no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended.
IRAQ, a rock and a hard place. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
You just quick with him, huh?
Yeah, sorry.
You know, so like, it's like the Iranian government does crack down on their civilian population. They rule by fear. I mean, guys, the average American would not want to live in that type of regime, especially during these times where like people are like protesting and people aren't happy. Whatever the true number is of protesters that they actually killed, it is a big number, right? And
I don't buy into the 30,000.
It might.
People trying to take it.
Yeah, I don't know about 30, but I mean, even more than 1,000 is astronomical. Okay, so we got $5 from Stank Jesus. Let's pull up that.
Just dropping some love for the channel. Thank you. Keep bringing the truth, gentlemen. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for the $5. Also, if you guys want to support even more than super chats, we have something new. I explained it in the beginning. I will clarify now. For
newsletter.
$5 a month, you can subscribe to our newsletter. It covers things that we don't cover in the show when it comes to deep dives, okay? They're going to be articles that give you more context than what the news is telling you, more than just the headlines. And specifically, I like to tie these back to how it affects you back at home. And I wanted to make this because I was like, how can I bring more value for people? Because we're only on twice a week, right? So in between, there's a lot of things that happen. And this is one of the things that you can do is you go to link in the bio, you go to Gray Area Files, and you subscribe. You're going to get fantastic articles every single week. And we're going to get other people to contribute. We're going to try to get people that you guys are familiar with, hopefully.
Sure.
You know?
Andrew Wolf says every podcaster these days is asking for money and subs a lot lately. It's work. Like we're working. We're doing a show. This is a high level thing. I consider this to be an art form. Here's the thing. Other people, they do the show so they can sell their product. We sell the product so that we can do the show.
Yeah,
so if
everything.
You're interested in any of the things, whether it's a supplement or the newsletter, like it's there for you. We're not like no one's holding a gun to anybody.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, everything that we put into the show or get from the show goes directly back into the show itself, because everything that you're seeing, from this backdrop to the props to the people who are trying to help us behind the scenes to the video editing, like all of that stuff and not even just that, the subscriptions. The biggest thing is like, I want to keep doing things bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger.
We're trying to build a media company, okay? And if you want to help us build a media company, a media enterprise, you can do that. If you don't, you don't. But I think it's really cool what we're working on.
Yes. So thank you guys.
And I got to say, like, we're going to plug more. And that's going to be a part of the show. So thank you for indulging us in that. We'll go ahead and get on the next thing. This is a phenomenal, great 1-minute breakdown on the current oil situation. Then let's get into your video. This ties into it well.
Yes. Okay, so is this one? Yeah, go ahead and play that, Wes. I think that's the clip, right? Okay, go ahead and play that.
I think it's hugely significant, and I think the fact that President...
Sorry.
From Stank Jesus, you have to support the channels you like if you want them to stay around. Stuff takes time and money. The way we're going to do it in the future, I was thinking about this. We're going to mute the super chat sound, and then we'll do like an hour and a half and 3 hour or 2 hour, however we want the breaks to work. We'll read them in bulk.
Yeah,
that's how everyone else does it.
Yeah.
So
I just got to figure out how to mute the sound. I haven't been able to figure that out.
And isn't this endearing? Here's the thing. We're two guys. We're sitting in my dining room, the Osama bin Laden studio of fame and notoriety, and like we're just trying to make things work.
Yeah, we're just trying to make things work.
Let's rewind it from the beginning. Excellent breakdown from John Mearsheimer.
I think it's hugely significant, and I think the fact that President Trump issued this post where he made it clear how angry he was at the Israelis for doing this is evidence of that. Look, President Trump is doing everything he can to keep oil prices under $100 a barrel. And that is not easy to do. And I would note that he has taken sanctions off Russian oil, and he has allowed Iran to sell its oil. It's very important to understand that Iran is selling its oil on world markets. Iran has been allowed to send oil through the Strait of Hormuz. And the reason that...
Okay, so we've talked about this. We covered this on the show far before the actual conflict, the war kicked off. This reverses about half a decade of U.S. foreign policy, a little less than that, but about half a decade, maybe like 3 or 4 years. We have been sanctioning the hell out of Russia in an effort to bleed them dry in the war in Ukraine, to make sure they didn't have funds for their military. We have been sanctioning them over and over and over again. We blew up the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. The Ukrainians did it, but we did it, preventing Germany and Europe from getting cheap LNG, and we make them buy it from us at 3 times the price. Not only that, how many sanctions packages have we passed? Just throw out a number.
Too many to count.
Yes.
It's got to be well over like 50.
No, it's not that high.
It's not that high? 20?
They're conservative, Tim.
20?
19.
Ooh.
19 sanctions packages. None of it's worked, and now it's the complete and utter reversal. So you see Biden, who weaponized SWIFT against the Russians. You see this weaponization of the Western financial system. All of that pissing away our power was worth nothing.
Oh, dude.
They're doing it anyway.
Oh, we have a track record of reversing things. Just think about...
No.
Just think about when we had the Russian-Ukraine war, right?
Sure. Still going on, by the way.
Oil prices at that point went insane. And then at that point, Biden had to step in and had to be like, okay, India, we need you guys to stabilize the market, and we need you guys to buy Russian oil. Okay?
Evil Russia.
Not even 2 years later, we then punished the country of India for having 60% of their oil coming from Russia, where it was 0.2% prior to that, in which we asked them, hey, we need you to do this for us. And then we punished them with 50% tariff after already telling them we need your help. And then we wonder why people don't want to do business with America anymore.
Right. And you look at the India situation. India actually had a real smart agreement with Russia where they were buying oil for like $54 a barrel at discount. They're saying like, we'll ignore the sanctions. The U.S. needs us. They're not going to do whatever. So they're buying oil at discount. Now all of this kicks off and Russia's like, hey, India, you still need that oil? We're going to charge you $4 premium over asking price. So it goes from $54 to, when I last checked, I'm sure it's higher now, $94 a barrel for India.
Oh, it went up from 54 to 94?
Yep.
Wow.
I'm sure it's higher now.
That's insane. Well,
liberal.
Now let's go to the video that I had at the very top here, the YouTube.
Iran oil strikes YouTube.
Yeah, this is a very good clip.
And after that'll be the Qatar stuff because it'll all...
So we're seeing an escalation here. Israel has kind of come off the leash. You let the dog off the leash, and this is what kind of happens. Because they did this I think they did this without, well, they did it with somewhat U.S. consent, but they probably went overboard, to be honest. But go ahead and play this clip real quick, and we could talk about the escalations here.
Span of just a few hours, that careful balance completely collapsed. The spark that set the whole thing off, quite literally in this case, was an Israeli airstrike that targeted an Iranian natural gas field known as South Pars. It's an undersea natural gas deposit straddling the maritime border between Iran and the nation of Qatar, and with both nations' shares added together, South Pars is the largest natural gas deposit in the entire world. On Iran's side of the border, there's an estimated 51 trillion cubic meters of natural gas. Trillion with a T. But although Qatar chooses to take most of its share and convert it into liquefied natural gas, or LNG, for export, Iran uses the South Pars deposit very differently. Iran's domestic energy infrastructure is heavily dependent on natural gas, and the vast majority of all natural gas that Iran uses to keep the lights on comes directly out of South Pars. For that reason, it's arguably Iran's single most important energy deposit of any kind. Strike an Iranian oil field, or a refinery, or even Karg Island itself, and as catastrophic as the impact might be, you'll still essentially be targeting the Iranian economy. But attack South Pars, and you attack a facility that makes daily life in Iran possible. It's the sort of target that Iran's enemies would only ever target in one of two situations. Either they were willing to escalate the entire conflict to an unprecedented level of intensity, or they didn't understand the gravity of their decision. As for which of those options applies to this scenario, you will have to be the judge, at least until more information comes out of Jerusalem and Washington. But what we do know, as of the time of writing, is that Israel carried out the airstrike on South Pars alone, but with the awareness and, most importantly, the approval of the United States. According to White House insiders speaking to the national press, US President Donald Trump intended the strike to be a sort of warning shot, punishing Iran for its decision to blockade the Strait of Hormuz and warning of the consequences if Tehran didn't reverse course. Unfortunately for the Donald Trump of Wednesday morning, the Donald Trump of Thursday afternoon has the benefit of hindsight, and in hindsight it seems that Iran didn't receive the message in the way that Trump intended. Instead, Iran responded with what seems to have been its most significant missile strikes since the start of the war. Those strikes were concentrated primarily on the installation that handles Qatar's side of the two nations' shared deposit, the liquefied natural gas facility known as Ras Laffan Industrial City. We've actually discussed Ras Laffan on a couple of recent Warfronts episodes, but the key details are worth reiterating. This single facility supplies roughly 20% of all LNG exports on Earth. It also exports about a third of the purified helium that the world needs to build advanced semiconductors. LNG is a source of energy that is in extremely high demand, especially in Asia and Europe, and Iran has already threatened the LNG facility at Ras Laffan on multiple occasions. But while Iran has hit the facility before, its strikes have only been enough to force a temporary shutdown, with Qatar committing to shutter Ras Laffan through the end of the war, plus the 2 weeks it'll take to restart production afterward. So, when Israel chose to escalate the Middle East conflict with a strike on Iran's most important natural gas reserves, Iran focused its retaliation against the same source of energy and against a target that would hurt the rest of the world as much as a strike on South Pars would hurt Iran.
Pause
Iran
it.
bombarded.
And it's like, you just think about it. Surely they had to know. Honestly, you know what they calculated? They were like, oh, if we do this, they're just going to go belly up and just take it. They're just going to take it.
Well, and you think
they're just going to bend over and take it.
It's the same exact logic with killing the supreme leader, right? Because killing the supreme leader makes absolutely no sense unless you're Trump and they tell you that it does and you're stupid enough to believe it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's like I did a show with Anthony Graffio last night, the Conspiracy Talk show that we do together once a week. And I was talking to him, and here's the thing. With how crazy things are, I'm willing to hear anything and consider it. And I think it's more rational to say this is all preordained and set up than saying it's totally random because these people are really, really weird. Okay. But at the same time, Trump is a fool, and Trump was fooled into this conflict. It's like Occam's razor. The simplest cause is usually the cause of the event, right?
Yes,
Not
yeah.
complicated with it.
Great point there.
It's idiot stuff. It's well, if we hit the island, they're going to crumble and they're going to unblockade the Strait of Hormuz. Well, all their operations are not on this one island. Sure, you destroy their economy and really hurt their ability to make money. The strait is still going to be blockaded. And it's a matter for them. It's literally, they are what Iran is like. They're like a person hanging on a pull-up bar. And if they let go of that pull-up bar, then the person sitting in front of them with a gun is going to shoot them and they're going to die. But that person standing in front of them is 90 years old, 400 pounds, has blocked arteries everywhere, and is literally in like the middle of like a diabetic coma and is about to lose control of the gun. So like, will Iran hold on to the pull-up bar longer, or will the U.S. Be able to?
They are, because here's the thing. Iran is playing an attrition game. They know, just like Russia knew with Ukraine, that they're in a position of power almost, because the moment the moment that this hits home for every single person, you're going to start seeing riots in the street. Either that or protests will be the first thing, honestly, before riots. You're going to start seeing political pressure, because, and not just that, you're going to start seeing companies and corporations and that pressure. And when that pressure hits, that's the one that moves the needle. And that is probably why you're seeing Trump sending out that tweet now being like, Israel is not going to be doing any more attacks going from here out.
Right.
Because they knew it was too far. And you don't think that there's conversations happening behind the scenes where they're like, okay, you guys have taken this too far. Land this plane somewhere.
Will they listen? I don't think that they're going to listen, because like, what interest do they have in listening? Their interest is in like causing the conflict to engulf the U.S. to the degree that the U.S. has to put ground troops in there. Like, that's Israel's win condition. Israel's win condition is successfully getting the empire involved in the conflict. Iran's win condition is keeping the Strait of Hormuz closed. Now, which one is more easy? Which one is more difficult? To Trump's credit, and I hate him now, I'm anti-Trump now, like, I should be getting all the alt girls lining up at my door now, all the ones that hated me for years because I don't like Trump anymore, okay? Benefits of not liking Trump anymore. That being said, even though I don't like the guy, he has been like if he was true, like bloodthirsty, like I'm ready for the entire world to die, like we would already, we'd already be in the ground war. Like, he's being, even if he's inevitably going to get pushed into it, he's still getting pushed into it. Yeah. You know, even if he's corrupt and evil and whatever, I don't think he wants this. I think he knows.
No, he does. He knows. Let's go ahead and finish out the very last of this video real quick.
Okay, and then I want to go to Iranian strikes.
Ain't no Kurds putting their life on the line. They're
smarter now.
They're done getting jerked around by all these countries in that region.
I don't believe it, bro.
Yeah, well, I'll be doing a deep dive on the Kurds. Every country has used them for their own personal gain because they've wanted their own independence. Yeah, every time, and they've been dick slapped every single time. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ras Laffan with a barrage of ballistic missiles and appeared to score multiple direct hits, sparking fires and explosions on a scale that goes far beyond most of the destruction in this conflict. Qatar Energy, the state-owned company that oversees Ras Laffan, indicated that the site suffered, quote, extensive damage, or in other words, damage that went far beyond what the facility had previously endured. Nor was that the extent of Iran's retaliation. Although this hasn't been confirmed, as of the time this episode was written, Iran claimed to have struck a critical Saudi oil processing plant at a port city called Yanbu, not on the coast of the Persian Gulf, but on the coast of the Red Sea. Over the last few weeks, Saudi Arabia had been urgently shifting its crude oil to start exporting out of Yanbu, a place that all sides had seemed to agree was far away from the epicenter of the conflict. The United Arab Emirates took hits at a key gas processing complex called Habshan 5, one of the world's largest installations of that kind, and at its Bourbon Bab oil field, the largest onshore source of oil in the country. Even within the context of this ongoing conflict, the scale of Iran's retaliation was exceptional. Not only did Tehran reveal that it's still in possession of highly meaningful missile launch capabilities, but it chose to respond to the South Pars airstrike in a way that couldn't possibly be misunderstood. If South Pars was a legitimate target, then Iran was willing and, more importantly, able to cripple global energy to an extent that the world had been hoping to avoid. For America's part, Washington clearly got Iran's message as intended. Of course, when it comes to this version of the White House, there's always a layer of bluster and bravado that we've got to filter through to see what's really going on. But fire and brimstone aside, it took Donald Trump practically no time to announce in all caps, no more...
Okay, didn't you have this clip here somewhere?
Yeah, no, I have it, but I can go ahead and read it.
Let's just read it here.
It's fine. Israel, out of anger for what has taken place in the Middle East, has violently lashed out at a major facility known as South Pars gas field in Iran. A relatively small section of the whole has been hit. The United States knew nothing about this particular attack, and the country of Qatar was in no way, shape, or form involved in it, nor did it have any idea that it was going to happen. Okay. Unfortunately, Iran did not know this or any of the pertinent facts pertaining to the South Pars attack, and unjustifiably and unfairly attacked a portion of Qatar's LNG gas facility. No more attacks will be made by Israel. No more attacks. Okay. So that's what Trump said last night.
Okay, so he's saying no shape or form. The United States knew nothing about it. Are you serious? We knew nothing? Are we sure?
Well, the thing is, like, of course we know about these things. We're powerless to stop them, and that's the problem.
That's the problem.
And here, cut back to us for a second, and pull up that Iran strikes on a U.S. radars thing to have up next. That's the thing about all of this. How did this conflict start? Because, like, we're already like 3 weeks into it, and people just want to go, I love Trump, I love Trump. How did this conflict start? The Israelis were going to do the operation. They were going to start the war. We knew that American soldiers and American bases would get hit when that happened. So we needed to contribute to the strike to make it big enough that it would work.
Yeah. Strong arming is definitely one of the strategies that I think played out. And that's just me being objective. I'm not necessarily like, oh, I hate Israel or I hate Iran. Objectively speaking, Israel has had a very big problem with that entire region for a very long time. And Bibi...
Bibi Netanyahu.
I'm starting as we had the guests on last weekend. Nate, phenomenal guest. You guys should go check out that clip. Go check out that video. Super great. He was an Israeli citizen. But as I kind of understood, and I've been researching and getting the ground understanding from people who live there, Bibi seems to be the problem more than anyone else. Like, it's not the Israeli people themselves. It's like Bibi has always had an agenda, it seems, where he wanted to exert that control. And even before the original prime minister that was before Bibi, he was on stage speaking about, moving these people and doing all the things that he currently is enacting, almost 2 decades later.
The people that are shrewd enough to get into Israeli government at the highest levels and stay there for decades are like the most monstrous people we've ever seen really on the global stage. Well, it's really incredible that like this guy, this Netanyahu, is able to warp the government over like a 25+ year period of time to where like it's his country. He made it his country.
Yeah, and it's getting very hard not to see how October 7th wasn't just something that they let happen, because it's like
green flag operation.
Because Nate said it himself. He's like, it takes less than an hour to like drive across that.
Right. And Ivan Ranklin on my dad's show talked about it. And he's like, yeah, I mean, like, I know where their helicopter base is. Like, I've been there. It's like 20 minutes away from the border. Like, and they have the same Apaches, the same everything that we have. And it's very clear what's been going on. And they are desperate. Netanyahu is desperate to continue this conflict. That's why they hit the oil field. It's because what they want to do, it's like they're poking Iran. They're like, we need you to overreact. We need you to overreact. We need you to overreact. Because keep in mind, we're at war, right? But there is even the fake bullshit, like we run everything type of war. There is still, respected rules and things that you are supposed to do and not supposed to do. And the number one thing you're not supposed to do is you're not supposed to go up the escalation ladder.
You're not. And at the end of the day, like, this is
like if you're trying to stop the conflict.
If this is a competition for power, I mean, and this is not how I wanted it to turn out. And at the end of the day, I don't want Iran in control of that region. I don't want, Sharia law being out there and them ruling by an iron fist and women now women have to walk around with hijabs and they can't actually have basic things. It's like, no, but I'm just saying, like, they have their own internal problems. And the whole point was like, okay, if we're going to stop their spread, stop it there. But we're going past a point where like, I don't know how much power they can really exert on the rest of that region.
It's not our business. Let Israel and Iran fight. Let them do whatever. Ultimately, Israel feels like they have like the magic button where they can summon Superman to fight the bad guys for them. And like, we can't exist in that state anymore because we're broke. Our people can't eat. Our soldiers are dying. Our military is degraded. And all of this, it's just... If they can make the statement, if the U.S. government can make the statement that we're getting involved in Ukraine and we're backing Ukraine so that we can deplete Russia's military, wouldn't the Russians and the Chinese get involved with Iran so they could deplete our military? Like, don't you?
They are though.
You see, like,
but here, China is playing chess right now, 4D chess. Okay, if you look at what's happening right now in the Strait, Iran is telling specific countries, hey, you're allowed to go through the Strait if you pay in the Chinese currency,
yes,
right? They didn't come up with that idea in a vacuum. That was China.
Well, they just stole it from us. It's the new petrodollar. Like, welcome to the new system.
Like, China is behind the scenes negotiating and having backdoor conversations because they see this as a way of like, hey, we don't have to send missiles. We just have to silently siphon power away from the West by allowing these situations to play out and let the monster hurt itself.
Dude, we are like, it's 250th year of the country. We are so embarrassing, dude. Like, America's so embarrassing. Imagine having everything and then being like, yeah, we're going to screw our own domestic population. We're going to enrich like the ultra wealthy. And then like the nation's going to blow up because we can't stop going to war. Like, why did the boomers do this? Okay, and I hate to throw the blame. I know we got an older audience. To the boomers that are awake and aware, you guys are like, you're like the survivors are like, you're like the Walking Dead movie. Like you're like, what's his name? The guy, the sheriff with the gun.
You're talking about, why am I blanking out on his name?
Dude,
Rick. I know, Rick. Yeah, Rick.
Rick something. Yeah, y'all are like Rick. Like y'all made it through, but like the vast majority that got inoculated with the propaganda, like you talk to the boomer on the street, and like the main thing is like, don't you think it would be a better idea not to get involved? And he goes, oh, that's a pipe dream. And it's like, it's a pipe dream. Like, but so it's more realistic to wish for a biblical apocalyptic war in the Middle East than to wish for like pro-America stuff. And because someone else is going to do it if we don't do it. And I feel like that's the great lie. Like it's like, you know, like someone getting abused and then you abuse other people because of that.
Where I see it is like, if we just talk about the history itself, it kind of, it bunny hopped. Iran was never the point of interest for a while. And when they were, I'm sorry, I lied.
But it was a whole region.
It was a whole region.
It's just the last puzzle piece they can't get. That's why they want it really bad.
Yeah, because they did something about Afghanistan. They did something about
Libya,
Iraq.
Sudan, Iraq. Yeah.
Iran has been the one that has kind of stood the test of time. I mean, now in the 50s, they did replace, the British went in there with the Americans and replaced the original regime, and they got that like 30-year golden period. But well, their version of golden. Right?
The West is happy.
The West was happy during that time period, but you know, as soon as the Shah got replaced by Khomeini, this is why we're at the problem.
As soon as the music starts going like hello, and it's like it's like and then we didn't like that too much. And here's the thing: they took a bunch of our people hostage. They've killed Americans. They made IEDs that kill Americans. Not a fan. Okay, not a fan. Like I like America. I'm not like a foreign expatriate type of guy.
Yeah,
right?
You just probably just don't want intervention.
The thing is like fuck all these people. Like trying to get us involved in these wars. You make me like the other side because I just don't want to be involved. It's like you're dragging us in to fight someone who like isn't ultimately trying to fight us, and everyone says, "Oh, well, they're going to hit us. They're going to develop a nuclear weapon." That's bullshit. Okay?
Well, I will say, I'll give you credit. I think this is more of Israel's problem and them pushing this
their
more
war
than us.
It belongs to them.
And it really came down to the whole Palestine issue and that not being resolved and the conflicts going. And the United States has not been something.
Yes, the genocide.
Yeah. So let's go to the next clip.
The next clip is going to be Trump talking about Israel strikes on Iran. Actually, no, that's the tweet. That's the tweet. We don't need to do that. Actually, you know what? Please do that. I think it has a video in it. If it has a video in it, let's do that. You know what? You have to leave soon because you got to go to an event. Sorry to throw multiple things at you, Wes. Will you scroll down really quick? You scroll down. So I want to play some of the Netanyahu because Netanyahu was around. He's waddling about. Where is it at? Okay. It's just a Trump tweet. We already read this before, but if you all need to take it, look at that. Mostly peaceful fire. Look at that. Mostly peaceful oil field that supplies 20% of the world. No. Just you have to check now. It's pretty crazy.
It's not anything I wouldn't doubt that he would have said, just to make everybody feel like everything's okay.
No, 100%. Let's go to the next clip. We scroll down on the doc.
Yep.
See what it is. Yeah.
Iran hits Qatar.
Yeah, we'll do the Iran hits Qatar, and then we'll do Qatar makes statement. How many Marines dying will it take to get Trump impeached? Over 100 will have to die in the demonic death humiliation.
I don't think he would even get impeached at that point.
Dude, it's coming. Dude, if I want it to happen, it's coming.
I just have to think about it.
Like, here's the thing. If I defended Trump for literally a decade. My opinion now is like pitchfork and torch. Like, I don't
Rex,
see how you're going to lose.
This makes you a Democrat now.
you're a Democrat. You support Joe Biden. I bet you wasn't saying the same thing when Biden was doing it. I get these comments, and I'm like, I've been around doing this since I was 8. I have my political ideology.
I can't wait till a Democrat gets in, and you guys are going to see how much we're going to be criticizing them when they start messing
Demon rat. It ain't even a Democrat. It's a demon rat. That's what I call them. Roll Tide.
We're going to start seeing Gavin Newsom roll out his new homeless program to get homeless people in your house. A federal mandate that you must house a homeless person in every single person's house.
Yeah, you have to buy a government-approved pill press. You have to help them make fentanyl. The government's like, well, we're gonna have this person live with you, and it's your welfare now. You got to help them with their career. What's their career? Oh, they sell drugs.
Yeah,
just joking.
But this is a nonpartisan show, so we don't care. At the end of the day,
True.
we're gonna criticize every single
true.
person. So
very true. The only people we don't criticize are the Mormons. We're bought and paid for by the Mormon.
Damon says, "Hey, it ain't funny. It's really bad here in Cali."
Yeah, I know, man. I know, man.
There's homeless people everywhere.
I've seen it.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Yeah, let's just do the Iran hits Qatar.
Yeah, go ahead and play that. Wes, you got it? Since you was 8, you got an exaggeration gene.
Absolutely not true. It's verifiably true. I've been doing this since I was 8. I got people that watch the show.
He actually has.
I've got people that watch the show.
I will say, when I go to the studio, you could see where Little Rex used to sit and do his thing. And all the guys validate.
I mean, like, we got deplatformed in 2018, bro. 2018 was 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's so wild to think about.
And your dad's had that studio for like, what, 14 years?
No,
right?
like 17.
17?
A little bit longer than that.
Oh, speaking of that, sorry, not to interrupt.
Yeah, we come back to us. Let's just close off with this. I think this is a good place to close off.
Yeah, before I go.
You got to wrap up. We have a huge announcement for you guys. We have a huge announcement. We'll post this to the Gray Area socials. We want to let everyone know. We are going to be hosting the American Journal, guest hosting it, whatever you want to call it, until the network goes away. Aren't you excited about that?
I'm super excited. That means you guys are going to be seeing our beautiful faces every single morning on InfoWars.
8 to 11 a.m. We will be live for your viewing pleasure. Should you choose to indulge us with your presence, we'll be happy to have you. We're going to be doing deep dive. We're going to be doing things with like a massive crew and a lot of technical help, be able to try new projects, new programs. And if you're interested, we're going to be doing call-ins, okay? Because they got a great call-in system.
Yeah, they got a good call-in system.
They got a phenomenal call-in system, so that'll be really exciting, right? And
super exciting. Honestly, surreal. I'm not even going to lie. Super surreal. Because
it's pretty cool.
Because at the end of the day, like, I know that has been your home, that has been the people that you have associated with your entire life. But for me, I'm new to this game.
Well, here's my perspective with it. I'm honored to do it. I'm super happy we're doing it. I want to do it primarily to help Gray Area and to help us grow. Here's my thing. I always grew up filming things in those studios, doing things in those studios. I'm very comfortable doing it now that I'm an adult and I have some time to reflect. But doing stuff there as a kid, I didn't want my entire media personality or image to be known as just someone that was like glomming on to something or someone that's kind of like a vestigial part of an organization. I did my pieces. I got out of there. I went off and did my own thing. You know that. But going back there for me, I'm just excited to get to do our show on a bigger platform because that's what it really is. We're not going in there to like replace someone and like, right now, we're going to be perfect. We're going to go in there and do the same phenomenal show that you guys have learned to expect from us week after week on the Gray Area.
That dynamic is still going to be still going to be there. We're going to still be doing deep dives. We're still going to be having jokes, having fun, because at the end of the day, we still want to provide value to not just you guys, but now the wider audience of InfoWars itself. And we're hoping to carry that momentum even after this segment and what happens to InfoWars. There will be a new network.
We hope to be on the new network as well. Yeah. We're
gonna try to earn our stripes here.
Absolutely correct.
So if you guys want to catch us, go ahead and tune in on that Monday. That is the first day that we are going to be live.
And this is why it's such a good time now to subscribe, to follow the newsletter, to just check on all the amazing things that we're working on that are in progress right now, because you get it on the ground floor what we're doing. And you're going to get to see a real evolution in quality and ability and the growth of our media. We're really looking forward to doing it.
Yes, we are looking forward to doing it. And before I leave, The last thing that I
throw
want,
the newsletter up again real quick.
Can we throw the newsletter up, because this is something that's dear and near to my heart, because I'm actually producing a lot of content for this now.
He's making a lot of content, a lot of articles.
And the biggest thing for me is giving you guys value at the end of the day. And for me, I do deep dives, because deep dives are important to me, because they give you guys more context than news, than other shows. And now I want to be able to provide that in a form that's easy for you guys to digest, and you're learning something. So go ahead and pull this up, Wes.
We got to have some rappers on the show.
Rappers?
Yeah, we got to get some. Before InfoWars is over, we still got the clout. We got to see if Big X wants to come on the show.
Hey, dude, let's get
I'd love to interview Big. I was thinking about this today.
Okay, so you guys see, this is the Gray Area Files. This is something new that we launched literally 2 days ago. It is a newsletter that you can subscribe to, only $5 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee, and you guys are going to get phenomenal content. If you can scroll down, we just came out with one today, specifically on the $4.6 trillion that is missing from the government's, from the Pentagon specifically,
right.
And how it actually affects you at home. And we're asking for an additional 200. It's insane. But these are articles that are going to be coming out every single week. We're also going to be having other people come on and be a contributor at the same time. We're working on getting people that you guys might actually love, people who
we're going to build this out. We're going to have so much stuff on here. I'm going to contribute, a lot of great contributors I'm talking to already as well. Someone in the chat says we need to get Afro Man on. Did you see that story?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so like he got like a police raid on his house where they like stole money from him or whatever. So he made a series of songs over like the years, like dissing them and whatever. They took him to court and he won. So it's a big positive news story right now.
Okay.
I'll send it to you after. But he's a cool guy. But yeah, truth lives between extremes. GrayAreaFiles.com, just $5 a month. Like you said, less than one single cup of coffee. Oftentimes, when I'm trying to pitch supplements like at GoPrimalCore.com, I say like, look, are you going to DoorDash some horrible donut melted cake creation and regret it and feel bad the next morning and have a horrible time on the toilet? Or are you going to get Elemental Drive or Ultimate Ashwagandha and actually have positive health effect, energy effect, vitality effect, you name it? With this, it's literally a no-brainer. Like if you watch the show, if you come here once a week or twice a week, or if you're a big fan of the clips or whatever, if you follow our media, then we want you to subscribe to the newsletter. We want that energy, because this is not free. Like,
no, it's not.
We're paying into this.
But
right
like
now,
even more than that, it's that 360 win that
Absolutely,
we talked about.
for sure.
My biggest thing, like, there are other people that want to charge like $20, $30 and like do some crazy stuff, and they're not even giving you guys like actual good videos, good content in general. And if you guys want to support the show directly, even more than super chats, like I love every single person that does super chats. Don't
discourage them, dude.
No, I'm not discouraging.
No.
I am not discouraging you guys from doing super chats. But at the same time, I know there's some people that aren't heavy hitters that want to, contribute as much as other people.
Maybe you want some return on your investment. Maybe you want a reason to spend that money, and that's why we have the supplements for you. Because that's a reason, life improvement.
That is a real reason.
This is informational improvement. This is intellectual improvement. This is an opportunity for all of us together to be reviewing the same information, and so that when you see the show, not only do you see things we may not cover, you'll also see things, I'm going to work on this, things that we do cover.
And the last thing I'm going to say is we're already getting a lot of people that are subscribing, and I'm getting feedback. People are loving the articles already.
Right.
They were like, these are well written. I'm learning something new. And that is the biggest thing. So just go to the link in the bio on Gray Area. You can just click on that. It's the first link that's in there. Please, if you guys love us, that is the thing to do. So
can you run for president from prison? Because he's saying Suge Knight announcing his run for presidency on Gray Area would be dope. I didn't know he was running for president.
He cannot.
Yeah, I think
you can't be a convicted criminal and run for president. I don't think those two things can exist in the same space.
Yeah, like you can't be Canadian, but you can be a felon. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I got to take off here soon, guys.
You're good. You know what? I think this has been a phenomenal show. I'll be back in the chair tomorrow, and we'll save this Netanyahu stuff for next week. I just want to thank the phenomenal audience and the switchers, the producers, the editors.
Also, we're having Chase,
Wes, and Damon.
We're having Chase Geyser on Sunday, right?
Yes, we're chasing the geyser, as they say. The chase with Geyser, all sorts of puns. Guys Chaser is my favorite one.
Yes.
Pretty
okay,
funny.
So you guys get 2 days back to back. You guys get Chase on Sunday, and then you get to see us on Monday morning on InfoWars. It is just a great time. So thank you guys.
Great time to be on the Gray Area. Thank you all for being here tonight.
All right, take care, guys.
modern life has left us out of balance. Long ago it was once said, certain remedies could grant a man the vitality of a horse. For over 6,000 years, these natural remedies have been harvested and tested by generations.